A shocking number, 245%, has just stunned not only China, but the entire world. This isn't just another tariff. It's a seismic economic move shaking the foundations of global trade. Headlines everywhere are asking the same question. Is this the first shot in a new global economic war? This bold action signals that the U.S., under Trump's leadership, has shifted from playing defense to launching a full-scale offensive. But the timing raises even bigger questions. Why now? Is this a strategic move for political leverage ahead of the elections? An attempt to force a global supply chain reset? Or is there something even more calculated happening behind the scenes? This isn't a random decision. It's a deliberate power play that could reshape international commerce. As the dust begins to rise, the world holds its breath, waiting to see how this bold move will redraw economic lines and shift global power dynamics. Tensions between the U.S. and China have been building for years, tracing back to the onset of the U.S.-China trade war in 2018. What began as tariff exchanges over steel, aluminum, and intellectual property quickly evolved into a deep-rooted economic rivalry. The stakes have only grown higher. Recently, China escalated the conflict by restricting exports of key strategic materials, namely rare earth elements, gallium, and germanium. These are not just any resources. They're critical components for electronics, defense systems, and clean energy technologies. By limiting access, China struck at the heart of global tech supply chains. In a stunning counterstrike, former President Donald Trump announced an unprecedented 245% tariff on Chinese goods. This isn't just a trade policy, it's an economic earthquake. Never before has a tariff of this magnitude been imposed, signaling a complete escalation of the conflict. This move represents more than just retaliation. It's a bold message that the U.S. is willing to reshape global trade at any cost. The world is watching as two of the largest economies push their economic weapons to the limit, and what happens next could define the future of global commerce for decades to come. If you liked the video, give it a quick thumbs up. China's reaction to the record-breaking 245% U.S. tariff was swift and defiant. Officials made it clear, we are not afraid of the United States, signaling that Beijing has no intention of backing down. In a surprising and symbolic move, Hong Kong Post announced the suspension of all parcel shipments to the U.S., a clear act of resistance and a warning shot in the growing economic standoff. The global markets responded with immediate volatility. Investors rushed to safe havens, causing gold prices to surge sharply, while major stock indexes around the world took a steep dive. Panic began to spread as fears of a full-scale economic war intensified. The shockwaves from this escalation aren't just being felt in government halls, they're shaking financial centers and boardrooms across the globe. What began as a trade dispute is now turning into a high-stakes economic confrontation with worldwide consequences. The darker side of this tariff war is beginning to reveal itself in unexpected ways. American businesses, especially in the tech and toy industries, are being hit hard by soaring costs as tariffs drive up the prices of components and finished goods from China. For many companies, profit margins are shrinking rapidly, forcing them to either absorb losses or pass costs onto consumers. As a result, everyday Americans are now facing the prospect of significantly higher prices for products that were once affordable. Items labeled Made in China, which dominate U.S. store shelves, could soon cost double or even triple. This has sparked widespread concerns about inflation, as rising prices across sectors threaten to weaken consumer spending. Economists are also sounding alarms about the risk of recession and a deeper global supply chain crisis, as manufacturing and logistics worldwide struggle to adapt to the economic fallout. Vietnam finds itself at a critical crossroads in the midst of escalating U.S.-China trade tensions. As companies look to shift their manufacturing operations away from China, Vietnam has emerged as a prime alternative due to its growing industrial base and strategic location. This opens up enormous opportunities for foreign investment, job creation, and economic growth, positioning Vietnam as a potential winner in the global supply chain realignment. However, this opportunity comes with serious risks. As Vietnam becomes more integrated into international trade flows, it also becomes more vulnerable to the shocks and instability caused by global economic conflicts. A sudden shift in tariffs or trade policies could hit exports hard, especially if Vietnam is seen as taking sides. This double-edged situation presents both a golden opportunity and a ticking time bomb. How Vietnam navigates this complex landscape will determine whether it thrives or becomes collateral damage in a larger economic war. What is Trump really planning? This sudden aggressive tariff move may be more than just an economic decision. It could be a calculated campaign strategy to win back voter support ahead of the upcoming election. By taking a hard stance on China, Trump appeals to nationalist sentiments and positions himself as a strong leader protecting American interests. But there may be a deeper agenda at play, a long-term strategy to undermine China's rise and reclaim U.S. global dominance. Behind the scenes of American politics, powerful forces and hidden motives could be shaping a plot twist no one sees coming. The world is entering a new chapter. This is no longer just about trade, but about power. Global dynamics are shifting fast, and what's unfolding could redefine the balance of influence for decades. As a young person, entrepreneur, or global citizen, the question is clear. Will you step back in fear or step forward and seize the opportunities hidden within the chaos? Those who adapt, innovate, and move decisively may thrive in this storm. One thing is certain, 2025 won't be a peaceful year. It's time to stay alert, think globally, and be ready for the unexpected. Smash that like button to support the channel. Got thoughts or questions? Drop a comment below. I read every one. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a powerful update. Let's grow this journey together. Your support means the world.